That's what I think you parents should tell your kids to do.
Okay, what episode is this?
289? What are we gonna do for fucking 301?
Give away the house.
Can't afford it. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 289, Jay McInnes, Sharp Real Estate Group. Today is Wednesday, July 31st, 2024, and I saw we're gonna title this, Want to Own a Home, Do This. And this article is, or this topic has been influenced this week by an article I saw in Financial Post titled, For Young People, the fastest route to home ownership runs through the trades. Those lovely blue collars, those people we simply cannot live without, the things they do for us, goes unnoticed 9 times out of 10, but they are, I will be willing to say it on air, the foundation of every economy in the world. And today we're going to dive into a little bit about that. So this hits close to home because my father was a contractor, built homes. We played the flipping and moving game, renovation game all the way growing up. He owned a company that built houses here on the lovely west side. My first job was sweeping floors in construction sites, blah, blah, blah. So I've lived through that growth and seen that firsthand. And those people are no less important today and foundational to our day-to-days than they, of course, were back then. Now, kids these days, we're gonna talk to parents about the kids and the decisions they're making. I don't know if I'm qualified to do this, but we're just gonna take a dive. I've got kids, so I'm assuming I'm qualified to do this. Wanna do all sorts of different things. And this is definitely not front of line, I don't think these days. I think finance and business and fucking, what are the influencers and all this fluffy shit is great, but is definitely the target of the youth today, what they're wanting to do. But I think we need to dial it back a little bit and go back to the fundamentals. And today we're just going to discuss along those lines how doing something like getting in the trades can help you in a variety of ways to get into home ownership potentially faster, which is the narrative of this article, and just for that life experience of something you can utilize from start to finish in life that will always be in demand and that you can always sell your time for. Now, this article goes into the whys. I found this interesting and slightly amusing at points. So as we know, Canada figures they need to build, Trudeau and his team figure they need to build a home a minute until 2031, which was headline news a few months back, to get up to par on the homes needed in this country to parallel his immigration policy. So, of course, with that absolute demand, those numbers, of course, are as far-fetched as possible, but you get the point that a lot is needed. Again, we've gone into over the years that they're not doing the things that show that they actually want to get this done, but that aside, a lot is needed to achieve any level of normality back in the housing market by way of building and creation of more homes and fixing up and. So this kicks off with that. We've also got 75,000 people per year retiring out of the trades in Canada. So as you can imagine, the boomer generation, my parents, was a big was the kind of the big headline, and I think being the largest segment of the population in a lot of traditional paths of work, they're the biggest bulk of the workers. But we've got 75,000 of them retiring out a year in Canada here, on average, apparently. So as that work base falls and of course is not getting repopulated as quickly as it's falling, there's going to be a crunch somewhere, and typically crunches mean more money for the people that are willing to do the job. This was a favorite of mine, the Gen Z generation's aversion to manual labor is contributing here to these factors that there's not enough tradesmen and women out there today. So the Gen Z that born 97 to 2012, Al, I don't think you're quite that young, but Financial Post's opinion is there's an aversion to manual labor in that segment, which I found rather amusing. You have to love the stereotypical comments here. I find them amusing at all times. So there's that, and I think that again is the generations not focusing on that physical labor, because don't get me wrong, it's very difficult. Are there easier ways to make money? Physically speaking, of course there are. But the next point, again, narrative of the day, trades are very AI proof. All this AI, if it's as big as everyone says and thinks it is, yes, I think that is coming for those mundane jobs, those computer jobs, those assisting coders, assisting whatever the hell all these computer jobs are. You've now got AI, what the hell are they called? It's the people. It's you, but it's not you, it's a fake you. An avatar, Jesus Christ, Al, you're the younger brain, you gotta be helping me here. So you can do all this stuff with AI, but obviously AI is not gonna wire a house, fix a plumbing line, all this sort of stuff. So it's a very AI-proof industry. You're likely to hit six figures a lot faster than the average Canadian does on another path, which we'll dive into a couple specific examples here shortly. Every day is different. It's not at all mundane work. You've got project-based work for the most part. I finished this house. I've wired this house. I've plumbed this house. You've got some feeling of completion, of achievement with every project you do with this, as opposed to that endless computer work where it's never ending and the work's always there, but it's just mundane blah. Not that that's every other job. But yes, project-based work guarantees you work straight out of school, as with the trades, typically you're earning while you're learning, which is an interesting spot that I think a lot of young people would benefit from that may not have a path yet, which most 18-year-olds, at least in my experience, didn't and probably still don't. But the influencers, Al, are getting younger and younger by the year, it seems. So I'm just getting further and further away from that reality for myself. Never stuck in a cubicle. Again, just a lot less of that mundane stuff. Yes, you could be out in a framed house on a job site getting rained on and fighting the elements, but every day is different. You got to get out there and do what you got to do. You've got an easy path through the entrepreneurship side of it to become your own boss, of course. And you can do this in a lot of industries, but this one is definitely that. And all of these points together, if this is something that is taken from the start, can simply get you making money faster, good money faster, and in terms into the real estate market faster. So I'm not an overly scholastic individual. I've got my fair share of school hours behind me, but I'm definitely not the one, if you will. I don't have BBA or all the initials beside my goddamn name on the business card and all this crap, which I respect, and everyone does their own thing, and that's great. But, so I've done some research here to get into it. So for university, obviously, if you're gonna be, we're gonna take a lawyer, for example, and we're gonna compare them to an electrician. Is that a fair trade? Who knows? Do you wanna be a lawyer? Who the hell knows? But this is the approximates here. So in this article, a four-year university degree with residency, they're stating in Canada on average is about $75,000 for the 4 years with residency. An average law degree is an additional, that's what they call an undergrad. This is new information to me. Average law degree is about, I mean, the numbers range from $30,000 to $130,000, but average $65,000 for 3 years. In addition to the undergrad, so now you're at 7 years of schooling at, what's that, 140 grand. The same college degree, maybe not lawyer, but generally speaking, university college, apparently that's gonna set you up 22% on average less income just for that college designation as opposed to university designation. Didn't know that. But don't cut any corners, Al. It's always the case here. You make more money when you take the long road. Massive potential, so from that first point, for student loan obligations. So you take your 7 years to become a lawyer, let's say, great, you're a lawyer now. how much student loan have you accumulated? If mom and dad are paying the bill, nothing matters anyway. They'll probably help you with your down payment as well, and you're on the way anyway. But if you're not in that lucky sperm club, as my father used to eloquently put it, then you're fighting for yourself to push through here. So what sort of timeline? 7 years. What sort of financial obligation? Did you take student loans out on that whole 130,000, half, whatever? You've got student loan obligations, assumably. And then you've got that 6 to 7 years, including undergrad for a lawyer. Then you're paid to article. It seems $31 to $38 an hour is average, so that's $65,000 to $80,000 a year for that first year out of school, and then you're off to the races. We'll have a little bit more comparison on that earlier. That's the first wave, university trade school. So for the trade school, you got a bit of government grants available. As there's a shortage, they're trying to motivate people domestically to do that. Apparently they're trying to pull skilled trades from outside, but I think as we've heard over the years with their filtration system of immigration, that's not the case. But anyway, I don't know those details specifically. Only the men and women at the top do. So we're not going to talk anymore on that. Earn while you learn. Again, as you are a apprentice, first, second, third, fourth year going through this, your income while apprenticing will increase year over year as your knowledge base extends. Are you still living at home? Can you save that as you move? If you're younger, obviously, and you've got the flexibility to live at home and the luxury, I would say now, to live at home with rental prices out there, then, and you're smart about it, that's the caveat. How smart are 18-year-olds? I wasn't, but we're not going to go any further into that. So if you're anything like I was, that will be tough. You're going to want to get out of home as soon as possible and piss all that money away as soon as possible. But if you're smart about it, you're good to go there. And you've got that earning potential, saving potential while you're educating yourself. Electrician, 4-year program, including that apprenticeship time. Of course, 6,000 hours apparently of workplace hours and 1,200 in school hours only. So the mass majority of this is on-site learning. Cost of this, from what I could find, books, everything included, just for the course, is about $10,000. People who are more scholastically experienced than me as of late, feel free to correct me in the comments below. But that's what it's looking like. Apprenticeship, in electrician, you're looking about 20 to 35 bucks an hour. So from start, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, that will progress. And you can make about 75% of what used to be called a journeyman's income. Now I see everywhere referenced, by no surprise, journey person's income, because naturally there's women involved too, but they've changed the name. I have no opinions on that. I'm just speaking out loud. So you can assumably earn up to 75% of the journey person's wage, which is the certified electrician's wage, while you're coming up. So very appealing. Earn while you learn. Licensed journeyman electrician, 45 to 55 bucks an hour. So you're starting there at about 93 to 115,000 a year. Lawyer, Vancouver average salary is about $46 an hour apparently. So you're starting at about 96,000 a year. So they are very comparable as you get out. Obviously, what you've done to that point is the biggest difference once you've gotten out of the education. So, of course, with both of those, much easier in the trades. You've got the opportunity to get people under your belt, start a team, build a company that way. You've got a lot of variety in all of these. What type of electrician do you want to be and focus on and market for? What type of law do you want to practice and market yourself for? Now, not to think short term. So, actually, let me just caveat this: 93 to 115,000 for the electrician, 96,000 on average for the lawyer. This is in Vancouver. Average Vancouver salary as of June 2024 is 70,000. So you're already dramatically above that. So the biggest takeaway from that is 4 years. Have you managed to save all the way through? Now you're off to the races, running at not full potential, but full income after 4 years and very minimal down payment with the trade. So you, in theory, can start socking that money away into a variety of different accounts, of course, that are positioned here to assist in home ownership. Or again, if you've got the leverage of staying at home, you've got that time, that earn while you learn potential all the way through the trade side of things. The lawyer side, you're now at the same income bracket for your starting point, but you are arguably 7 years out, or 8 years after that first year of articling. So not only cost of living, blah, 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 that's part of that on the lawyer side, the 7 to 8 years, as opposed to the 4. What does it cost you? What have you racked up debt-wise all the way through? But what has the market done? You've got your earning potential beginning after 4 years on the trade side, and then 7 to 8 years on the lawyer side. So what has the market done in 4 years from today, and what has the market done in 8 years from today? So basically that time, now we're not gonna talk about extremes. Are you the biggest lawyer in town? Do you have the biggest plumbing operation or electronics or electrician's operation in town? My guess is I default to leaning the lawyer makes more, but I'm not sure that that's true. Either way, you can make a lot of money at the very top end, but we won't talk about that today. It's just more the opportunity cost of the time, how quickly you can get out there and start earning to get into the market. So again, not to think short term, but you need to think practically, and not that no one comes out of high school thinking I want to work the trades and it's just a secondary job like a lot of people would say real estate is, but that's another story. If you don't know what to do and you want your kids to saturate those first 4 years out of high school with something of value, I think this is definitely a way to go. I think this is also one of those things where if you do it and you've only dedicated 4 years, to think you're by the time 18 to 22. You could be 26 by the time you're done the 25, 26, the law stuff. Again, still very young. Talk to a 26-year-old and they probably think they're over the hill already. But of course, perspective, they are definitely not. With those first 4 years, earning these, not even these credentials, but just the knowledge. This is stuff that you can run with forever. Leave it, go travel, go to another job, go do whatever you do. But that sort of knowledge is something that you can take with you, and when you do own your own home, you can do your own electronics work or electrical instead of getting someone in, your own plumbing instead of getting someone in. You've always got that certificate that you can keep going and doing those side jobs, do it part-time. So it's one of those, I'd say, definitely life skills that is more valuable today than ever, considering the cost of everything that's going on out there. So always to keep in mind too, that that's something of value long-term that I think everyone would benefit from. My experience, I was looking through my phone the other day, saw the plumber that I use, plumbing backed up, I don't know what the hell to do, called my guy. He comes in, it's whatever, an hour and a half work. He's got his, I'm just gonna come fee plus and have a look. Then he's got his work fee, and it's $300 for like an hour and a half. Did I get ripped off? Did I not? It doesn't even matter because the wife was pissed off because the toilets were backed up and I needed to fix it ASAP. So he charged me $300. He was definitely worth $300 that day. So it's that sort of stuff. Again, is there price gouging? Is there not? That's not the point here. The point is that it's a very needed, when you need it, you really need it. And that's never gonna change. So that's that. In conclusion, of course, if you've always wanted to be a doctor or always wanted to be a lawyer, I'm not criticizing that. I think those are obviously, you want to jump into university, I'm not criticizing that. If you know what you want to do, that's great. I am criticizing going to school to get a piece of paper that you don't necessarily want to go down this path for. I think that's ridiculous, but that's a whole other conversation. I think that doing the trades is a very valid and valuable thing to learn at the front end, and that's really what this article has focused on. And again, if the markets are up, people need their toilets fixed. If the markets are down, plumbing lines can still burst, drain tile can still clog, roofs can still leak. So there is forever work. I should have done it myself. Graduated Al and I got it. I got that certificate. I actually, here's a side note for you, here's some insight. I found out last week that there's a family rumor that I didn't graduate high school.
Bruh.
What the hell, it's 25 years, there's been a family rumor and I just found out about it now. So here's the proof. We've got a photo. This is my graduation photo. To all the goddamn family. Jesus Christ. More general news. Krista Freeland announced on Tuesday that as of August 1st, 30-year mortgages are now the thing. First-time home buyers, they're going to give you longer amortization, which will bring prices down, which falls nicely. Prices down will bring your monthly payments down. Max used to be 25, now it's 30, which falls nicely into conjunction with July 24th, just passed the second rate cut, second 0.25. So we've lost 0.50 off the top of the base rate there in the past couple of months. They are forecasting another 2 rate cuts before the end of the year. So again, what is that going to do? When prices get cheaper for your monthlies and the money you're borrowing gets cheaper, prices of the product you're buying goes up because it's more accessible to more people. So I think we're starting to see, we've done all the benchmark stuff, we've seen the benchmark pricing has just continued all the way through here going up, but I think we're going to start to see a lot more general price movement as we go up. We've definitely got the inventory out there. It's just the sales that are lacking, but as these things trickle in, I think slowly but surely we're going to get more activity in the market at general. There was another article this week, again, Vancouver Sun, article titled Metro Vancouver to grow by 50,000 people a year. Again, more pressure on the market is not going to dissipate anytime soon by the way of people. And again, falls into line with this trades article. The more people, the more toilets that are going to clog, and the more you're going to be needed. So that's it today. That's what I think you parents should tell your kids to do. I will try and do the same. We'll see what the wife has to say about it, but I'll keep you informed on that as we go. Thank you and see you next week.